We hairy game lords have been playing Crown of Ash from Card Noir. Let's go! Slightly beardy James. So, Crown of Ash. Are we necromancers? Are we liches? I think we're necromancers. Now, we've been given a prototype copy of this. And bear in mind that there might be some rules that have changed. There might be some different bits and bobs that are different to what we explained. But when I got this this preview copy through and went through everything, I thought it was the real deal. In terms of kind of like production, if the real game is anything like this, it's so nicely done. So you've got this giant map of the kingdom. Yes, it is a kingdom because there is a king in the middle. It's double-sided. This side has less colours. This side has more colours. It took me ages to figure that out. And you are one of a few necromancers. I just want to be a lich, okay? Who is trying to influence this realm. So it starts off with a undead king in the middle, because doesn't every game? And you are going to be playing to locations. Everyone starts with a location. So, for example, this one here gives you 3. Black
ash.
Is ash. Crown of Ash. Down here, you've got some ash and sulfur. And all of these things are being used to, bring onto the board your soldiers. So you've got locations, and those locations will give you points when you hold them. And it's really important that you hold your locations. You've got 2 spots here for each location, which can be bolstered by your own soldiers. So, for example, if I held that location, I would put my soldiers there. I'd put my beautifully coloured marker there to say this is my land. And then Dave would come along and try and take it away from me, because Dave doesn't let me have nice things or evil things or anything like that. And so this is a game of back and forth, land changing hands, and you can... Area control. Yes, in fact, it's a very good area control game.
Worker placement, area control.
Yes, it is a worker placement area control. Now, I just needed to say it in many words. So for me personally, I had a little bit of a mini playthrough to get my head around it, because just like learning it from the book and all that kind of stuff. And when I came to the table with the Hairy Game Lords, I very carefully gave myself some good kind of strongholds around the land and held it strong, got myself some points racking up. Now, the problem with that was, as I held that land, other people started to upgrade theirs. Now, I'll pull out some of these buildings, because everyone's able to buy new buildings and dump them on the top of the ones that they got. So you've got some starter buildings here. So there's 4 players maximum. You've got 4 buildings there. And then there's some better buildings. There we go. That little 2 there, that is the amount of points. But as you stack them high, you get 2 points for the top one, 3, 4, 5 for the ones underneath it. So you are rewarded for upgrading your buildings. That is great, as long as nobody takes it. This game is wonderfully hostile. In fact, there's never anything personal. At least there wasn't in our group, apart from when Dave was attacking me. That comes from this game. I find that like area control isn't normally my jam, because I'm such a peaceful, lovely person, and I don't know. I'm no good at looking after my stuff. So I found that this game was one that is an area control that I could get behind. So I knew what I was doing. I got some cards down. So for example, I got these 2 yellow dudes here next to each other. This one is 2 strength. This one is 1 strength. But because they're both yellow, they get an extra strength. So suddenly, like, you're starting to kind of like really dig in and look after your places. All of these little guys are available at the top for people to buy. So they're always available from the start, but you're going to be getting bigger and bigger amounts of resources to be able to unlock these big beastie boys here. And they will be both very good for looking after your stuff, but also for taking land and attacking stuff. And this is where my favourite part of the game comes in. I really, really love the way that they do the combat in this game. Everybody's got this little deck of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards currently, and they're on the floor. And everyone's cards are absolutely the same. So, for example, this here is 4 attack. This one here adds 0 attack. This one here has 1 attack. And this one here adds dice attack. Ooh, I love a bit random. So what you'll do is you'll play your attacking cards face down. You'll play your, I guess, necromancer card down. Not lich, necromancer card face down. And then the person who's defending, you can see those cards out on the board, but they also add their own one of these. Flip them over and resolve what's extra. I really like how there's very little randomness in this game. Apart from when you got that little bit throw over dice, which is nice, but you know that a person is only going to be able to play this once until they get them back. And then they're going to be moving on to their other ones. And so if you see Andrew dropping his big 4 to get the kind of central location, you know he's a little bit less able to defend himself. And on top of that, whether you win in the green or lose, you always come out with a reward from fighting. So I think that they've taken area control and aggressive area control as well and given it a very rewarding side, both for the aggressor and the defender, who's normally me. So I think as an area control game, which is built around taking land, yes, developing it, but primarily taking it, I think they've done a great job of making it really, I guess, accommodating as it can be for a game about necromancy. Which actually brings me to my final thought on the game. I think that the theme could have been anything. Like, personally, it could have been about squirrels. And wait, I
want my nuts back.
I want my nuts. I'm going to hold the nut kingdom. It could have been anything. Necromancy, sure, that's fine. Some people are into that. I'm not a massive necromancer. So I don't know. I think it could have been a more, I don't know, accommodating theme to go with that combat. That's just my personal thoughts. The other thing I'm going to say is, check out this rule book. This might change, but look at the size of that on the back. It's classy as well. It's not completely full. I really like that. And the writing is humongous, which is really nice. This might change, but I really, really love that there's so little information and the rulebook is so clear. Just really easy to flip through. I know I've said a lot, but I think that there's a lot about this game which is just a big win. I think it's worth having a look into if you like this kind of game, and I think it is. It's a game which, I think is a very enjoyable and, as I say, accommodating area control.
Ange, the bearded lady here, and yes, we got this through from Card Noir and from Richard, the designer himself. So thank you very much for sending that to us. I instantly passed it on to James to learn. There was a few discrepancies in this book. As we say, it is a prototype. But the one thing that James came back and has already said was just how lovely and just the time and you can tell the attention to detail and energy that they've put into this rulebook. So nicely laid out. And as for me, perusing through it, I'm like instantly, I'm not a big reader. I like lots of pictures. I like lots of examples, and this book is full of them. So well done. Amazing. Love that. I wouldn't be Ange the Bearded Lady if I didn't talk about the artwork, and as you can see, James has already shown us on that board. The artwork is lovely. It is really, really nice, even through to the cards as well. Yes, it's necromancies and the dead and everything like that, but they still look proper cool. All of these characters look amazing, and you start off. Everyone starts off with kind of like their generic fighters, which are still proper cool. But then, as you start to see the beefier people come out along the top, they look awesome. I mean, this guy here, proper cool. He's just he's a lowly small fighter, but look at him, amazingly cool. But then you get into the bigger guns, just so nice stuff. And what's really great is like when you've got a card and it's like power 6, 7, or 8, and you go into a battle and you just think, I've got this. I've absolutely got it. And then of course whatever cards you use in that combat, they then sit there as defense on your area control, and you just think, yes, I know that bad boy is going to stay in there for the rest of this round. And of course, you need to be holding that territory at the end of each round to score your points. Really, really good. As James has already said, I really, really liked the combat area control thing on this. Loved that whole thing of, yes, we all have the same combat cards. You play them down secretly, but then in that reveal, it makes the game inclusive for everyone sat around the table. There may be only 2 people involved in a combat, but everybody is watching that combat take place, which is great because it pulls everybody into the game. There's no one sitting back and just thinking, oh, I wish my round would come along, which sometimes, in fact, come on, let's admit it happens a lot. This game, you're invested in because it's in your interest to see what cards have been played down so that you know those cards no longer are in the hand, and therefore I could use something to defeat that person who has now taken over that location there, or defeat the other person in another location. Now I know that they've lost their heavy hitting cards. So clever, and that for me that enhanced the gameplay throughout all of the game. Really, really enjoyed this game, and we'll look forward to seeing the finished product and playing this game again and again. Big thumbs up. Oh yes.
So last little thing, I was learning this rulebook around the breakfast table, and my 4-year-old daughter looks over and sees this guy, and she says, "Daddy, that's a baddie," and I'm like, "Yeah, they're all baddies, and they tickle each other when they go to war." And she's like, "Yes, he tickles them with his sword." Yeah, that's pretty much what happens.